Hi, I'm Liz from flutesoundscapes.com, and today I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to play the Bouree from the AMEB flute syllabus for grade 3. And the topics I'm going to cover are how to divide this piece into sections to break down the practice times to make practice more effective and simple, breathing techniques, metronome practice, and some common areas where mistakes are made in this piece. So the first thing to do when learning any piece of music is to break it down into manageable sections. Rather than trying to learn the whole thing at once, it's better to approach it in bite-sized pieces. For example, I like to break it down in the following. So the first section is going to be from the first bar to bar 8, and then the second section is going to be from bar 9 to 16, and the third section is from bar 17 to 22, and then the final section is from bar 18 to the end. And these are just suggestions, so you might want to divide it up in a different way. I like to just put little commas or little brackets around these sections so I can see clearly on the score as to where the sections are. So step one with this piece, you want to just read the entire piece from start to finish just to get a general feel for it. And then you want to just divide the sections up in the way that you like. And then after that, you're going to start on section 1. So the first thing I like to do when I start the first section is to take out all the articulations to make it really simple. And I'm going to put my metronome on crotchet equals 80, and I'm going to put it on quavers. So the free metronome I use is called Sound Corset, and you can download that on any smart device for free. So starting on the first section, we put the metronome on and we begin without articulations. So the aim of this is to do it really slowly, and you're going to do the first section perfectly 3 to 5 times like that. And you're not going to bump up the speed until you've nailed this first section and you're comfortable with the notes. And then after that, you're going to then put in the articulations and slowly bump it up. So I might start at 80, and then my next speed might be 95, and then I might get it up to speed. So it just depends on how quickly you want to move the increments for your metronome. And just make sure that you do take out the articulations first, because the articulations in this piece can throw the rhythm off, and because you've got 3 slurred and 1 tongued, and slurred from the 4th quaver to the 5th quaver of the bar, so it can put you a little out of kilter. So learn the notes first without articulations at a slower tempo. So you're going to go through each of these sections learning it strategically that way, and maybe in one practice session you might only spend your time on the first section. It's better to spend all that time on the section and nail it than it is to sort of half-heartedly go through the whole piece and not really nail anything. So even though this might seem like a slower way to learn this piece, or any piece for that matter, in the long run you're actually going to learn it much quicker, and you'll be less tired for it as well. So when thinking about the styling of this piece, you want to keep it light, because you've got to remember that a Bouree is a dance. So keep it stately, and after you've put in your articulations and you've got it up to speed, rather than playing everything a little bit joined together, you want to play it, so I'll do a demonstration of what it sounds like joined together. That's kind of, it's nice in one way, but it's not quite in the styling of Bach. So we want to pick up the tempo a little bit, because a Bouree is a dance, and keeping things a little bit separated. And you'll notice in this piece that some notes have a staccato and some have a tenuto. So you want to make the difference between that. And even the notes that don't have a staccato or a line over the top, you still want to keep it light and lifted, not long, to keep in the style of Bach. Another thing to consider is the different keys this piece goes into at certain points. For example, at bar 5, it goes into the key of G major. So you might want to be practicing your G major scales, and maybe you want to color code this this section where it goes in from C major, because we start in C major, and then by bar 5 we're in G major. And then in bar 9 it goes into the key of A melodic minor. So maybe that's another scale you want to practice before you start playing this whole piece. So we've got C major, G major, and A melodic minor. And again, color coding these sections will help your mind prepare for the new key that's coming up, so you're less likely to make a mistake. And next we want to talk about breathing. So this piece, it is fairly continuous. So there's not a lot of places to breathe comfortably. And so you might want to practice a scale like this. We'll do it on a G major scale, where you take little sips of air. And then by the time you get to the top, you can let it all go. So we start with letting all the air out first, and then start. So this is going to train your the muscles to take quick sips of air, but also to be more comfortable with holding a big amount of air and not let it out all at once. And the last thing I want to mention is mental focus. When you play Bach or any of the classical pieces, in a way we need more focus mentally to play them accurately and well. So when you break up your sections, just make sure that you use a visual timer, and I'll show you what I mean. So this is another app that you can download, and it looks like this. So basically you can move this, you can decide how much time you want to spend on each section, and you can I'm just going to reset that first. So maybe you want to spend, no more than 10 minutes. So I'm going to set it to 10 minutes, and I don't know how well you can see that because the light is shining, but if you just start it like that, and then for that 10 minutes you're only going to spend that time on that section and not move on to other sections until you're happy with your achievement with that section. So that's one way, just to keep really focused. Maybe you only want to set it for 5 minutes, but whatever it is that you're doing, you just break up your practice into units of time, basically. So you're spending less time practicing, but it's a higher quality practice. So that's it for today. If you would like some feedback on your playing, you can check out the link below where you can submit me some pieces of yours that you're working on via video or audio. And I will give you written feedback, and I'll help you with whatever I see you might need helping with to take you to the next level of your flute playing. So thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up.